Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Short Pit, a NASCAR podcast. I'm your host, Kaleb and Chris. Alongside me, as usual, is my co-host, Chris Prince. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Ready to talk some NASCAR finally.
Yeah, it was a long, eventful off season. Super happy to be here for season 2. Obviously, a little bit of a new look, new music, just the two of us instead of the packed 4-man show that we had. Uh, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, if this is your first time here, which it could be, new season, you come in, you're looking for a new podcast to pick up. Number one, thank you for spending the first, I don't know, what is this, a minute with us so far. We hope that you stick around. But just to inform you who me and Chris are, we are writers for BellyUpSports.com, the only two NASCAR writers on the block. But we take pride in that. We take pride in our work. You can catch our weekly picks where we go on DraftKings. We look at the odds. We pick what's best. Chris, every now and then, will drop power rankings. Every now and then, I'll drop a thought piece here and there. But yeah, it's a new season.
New season, new drivers, rookie drivers, new tracks.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But
It's a lot.
that's the good thing about it.
In true short pit fashion, we try to keep it within an hour.
That's right.
So,
We'll do our best.
We do our best, so we try to have some fun along the way. We'll have guests come in through the year. A lot of good names, a lot of good people we're in contact with. So it should be fun. Should be a really good time. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with the top of the board. Let's get through this off-season talk. Obviously, one of the big things was the 2311 Front Row Motorsports versus NASCAR lawsuit. We ended last year, the season, on this podcast being like, God, like, I don't know which way this thing could go. It could be really, really good, or 2311 in Front Row Motorsports could cease to exist, and you have a silly season unlike any other in a very short amount of time. But shortly after all the leaks came out of, NASCAR people calling Richard Childress the dumbest redneck of all time, and all the nasty things said, and everything coming out, Denny Hamlin having some zingers in court, everything in between. After a while, they just come to terms on a settlement. I personally don't know a ton of the details about it other than permanent charters. Like, these guys have their charters until they decide not to have them anymore.
Yeah, that was a big part of it. That was one of the main things they were fighting for. The other things they got was the 5-strike rule that went up from 3 strikes they previously had. So basically, if NASCAR wants to do something, they present it to the chartered teams, and if they shoot it down 5 times, then and NASCAR adds it anyway, then the teams have the availability to take their cars and perform in a different series along those lines. Basically, just to keep things fair, give the teams more of a say too, and then they've got a cut of the revenue share a little more. So hopefully that will give them a little more profit margin, because the numbers that they were presenting for like Front Row and like especially 2311 were shocking.
And going up to Hendrick Motorsports, they're taking a loss.
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts, the money that the teams were losing. So I think after that kind of came out, and then the text messages and stuff started to be shown again in court, NASCAR realized that this was going to do more damage to them than it was to the teams, because the teams just weren't going to be there. I think Denny said at one point, it was like 11 of the 13 original charter teams are no longer here. Like, they've sold charters, moved around, expanded, things like that. So it's interesting, because you also had the resignation of Steve Phelps too that came out.
Yes, a very underrated part of this. He steps down as the executive president of NASCAR, whatever his title was. Yeah, he steps down. I'm not sure who his replacement was, if that was named, but
I haven't.
Stand by.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't recall his name, but I think that's a big one to take away, because a lot of NASCAR fans on Twitter were calling for both.
No direct replacement has been named. Instead, Steve O'Donnell will assume day-to-day leadership.
I mean, so you trade one for the other, I guess, at this point. But if anything, I'll say O'Donnell does talk to some of the stars and previous stars a little more than maybe Phelps did. So who knows? Because he's big with Junior. He's always talking to Junior on his podcast.
Sold. Make him NASCAR czar.
That's right. Let's do it.
If anybody has their finger on the pulse of NASCAR fans, it is Junior.
Yeah.
Seeing as how basically everybody, I think, is a part of Junior Nation in one way or another.
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, you could argue like a Mark Martin too, but a lot of your newer fans are probably not going to follow him near as much. But still, Junior's going to be widely. It's kind of like Nick Saban in college football, right? At this point, you respected Nick Saban enough that he could be a president of the, NIL or whatever they're doing down there. I think Junior would be fine, but it's corporate world, so I don't see that happening with Junior.
No. But yeah, that lawsuit ends up being, I don't want to say a nothing burger, but it ended up a lot cleaner than it could have.
I think so. Yeah, a lot cleaner than we expected. Even the teams kind of came out obviously on the good end, in my opinion.
All right. And then the next thing, Chase is back. Not Chase Elliott. He's been around. Chase Briscoe's been around.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm missing any other chases, am
Yeah.
The chase for the Cup is back. This is a format, obviously, that had been replaced by what was the playoff format. You explain the NASCAR playoffs to somebody who has no idea what's going on. It'd make your head spin. I remember explaining it to my father when we went to Loudon for that playoff race. He's like, "So what's the deal with this desk?" I'm like, "All right, sit down. I'm gonna have this whiteboard and I'm gonna draw it up for you."
Gotta have the whiteboard.
Now it's much more simple. I think anybody who's watching this podcast, it's a pretty. I think our demographic leans pretty informed. Pretty. I don't need to explain everything to you, but just in case I do, the new format kind of looks something like this: 16 drivers, top 16 in points, no matter how you cut it, is going to be your playoff roster. There's going to be 16 drivers, just organized by points. You get these points by winning races, by winning stages, and it all accumulates to one end, where with 10 races to go after the summer Daytona race, beginning with the Southern 500 down there in Darlington, you have a 10 race chase to the Cup, and the whoever has the highest score between those 16 drivers after that is 10 races is your champion. I believe
if they win the final race.
Yes, very true. I believe this system was gone away with 2013, 2014,
right.
something.
Yeah, I think 2014 was the last year, arguably, is what some will say. I like the chase, though, to kind of, like you said, it's a little more simplified. The big thing, too, is the wins do mean more. So they're 55 points as opposed to 50 last year. So they went up on that to reward you more for winning. It's just better look. It's not as complicated. You don't have the win and you're in anymore.
Yes, that is a big part of it.
Yes. So you're not going to have the one-off Daytona winner in the summer like we had with Harrison Burton and the Ricky Stenhouses. So you're not going to have to worry about them stinking up the playoff field. You're going to get arguably the 16 best drivers finally. So there's no more questioning whether or not two guys got left out because they didn't win a race, but they were more consistent. I think that's the best part. Now, who benefits from that is going to be the real question, and who gets hurt from it.
Right, and I think when you look at it, guys like Chase Elliott, you're foaming at the mouth. You're ecstatic because Chase Elliott's not a guy who wins every other race. Right. He's not a guy who wins a ton. He gets one or two and ho-hums his way, as we so delicately put it, to a top 10, top 5 finish, and everybody's happy, and he ends up near the top of the leaderboard as far as Owners' Championship, which is a totally different thing that we don't really need to get into, but the Owners' Championship was a little closer to the representative of what this is going to be. Not perfect, but
right,
it's close. If you remember your Winston Cup full season title, I think that's kind of what the Owners' Championship is. It shows you where that would kind of end up. And Chase Elliott's usually at the top of the board there all the time. Consistent guys. I mean, guys like Alex Bowman aren't going to get screwed out of a playoff spot because Austin Dillon and Harrison Burton and Austin Cindric and all these guys who might not be hanging around that top 10 as often as Bowman does, steals them of a playoff spot because they got a one-off win here and there. Guys like Buescher, Keselowski, Preece, after the seasons they had last year, they're feeling pretty good.
Fact, they 2 out of 3 of those cars would have made the chase format if it had
Kez and Buescher.
Yep.
And I imagine Preece was right there.
Right there. Yeah, he would have, one good race and he would have been right in it too. So, that shows you how big of a flip it can be just with this format. I think
who does this hurt? SVG.
Immediately.
Not that I don't think it kills him, because I think if you're going to win 5 road courses a year, that's going to be a lot of points.
A lot of points, yeah.
And if you improve just ever so slightly on these ovals and turn some of these DNFs into top 15s, some of these top 30s into top 10s, and you just keep working at it, there's no reason to think that he can't squeak his way into a P16.
Yeah.
It could hurt somebody like Daniel Suarez, who backs into a win at Atlanta or backs into a win at Sonoma.
Yeah. AJ Allmendinger, if their car doesn't break.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing there. What's the chances of that? Probably even worse than it was.
The winning in is what kills them more than the season-long aspect of it all. For sure. So I think those are kind of your highlighted big winners and losers from the chase being back. Obviously, so there were some. This was a very small minority of folks that wanted the playoffs to be a thing. Maybe you extend to the 3-3-4 and you have 4 races be your final. I was open to it. Wasn't my favorite thing on the planet.
Right.
Not something I was going to die on the hill for, and I much prefer this. And there's obviously the people, the Mark Martins of the world, who think that full season points is the only way to do it.
I just don't think you're ever going to get that anymore, just because.
Do you want it?
I don't necessarily care much for it, because even as like a Chase Elliott friend, yes, he would have been top 5, I believe, but he isn't going to win a championship. Christopher Bell would have won the championship last year. Had he.
And that's if you get rid of stage points and all that stuff.
Right. If you get rid of stage points and all that. So, it doesn't hurt me that they went back to the chase. I think it works better. It's a good compromise between those older fans that know what the chase is and are probably more okay with it than they were the playoffs, and then the fans who like the playoffs and that kind of format, the elimination throughout different stages, I think is the good part there. But someone we didn't touch on, right, that this hurts is Joey Logano.
I'm in 2 minds about it, because under this chase format now, people are like, oh, well, if they had the chase format the whole time, Joey Logano wouldn't win it. No, he still have 2, 3, 4 championships.
Yeah.
He would have won it in 2022. And there was another year where he didn't win it that he would have under this format.
Right.
I forget which year it was, but there was a graphic. But I know in 2022 he would have won it anyway. So I'm in 2 minds about that, because one, Joey Logano's a veteran driver. He's going to adapt to whatever. He's raced in both, and he's had success in both. It definitely is a rough look on Penske right now, because they sandbag it until the round of 8, and then they start rattling off these wins, start rattling off of these hot performances. Besides Ryan Blaney, but Ryan Blaney just has weird luck. He'll have 7 DNFs and still be a top 10 point getter. But I'm in 2 minds about that, because yes, Joey Logano has had a lot of fortune when you look at 2024 especially. But I don't know if this hurts him as bad as people say it does.
I'm kind of with you. I think it's interesting because, it's more the sandbag effect. That's why I'm with you, because he has had such, average, below average starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the reigning champion, he had the longest streak of not finishing in the top 5 as the reigning champion last season. So, it's kind of both ways. I think you're going to see the common competitors, though. That's going to be the thing, right? You're going to see the guys like the Hendrick Motorsports. You're going to see 3 out of 4 of the JGR cars. I'll say that.
You're going to see at least one Penske car.
At least one Penske car. And then at least I say probably a 2311 car.
Maybe both, because
Maybe
Reddick was uncharacteristically off.
Yeah. And he fell more the second half of the season. He was pretty average, like right there finish wise with Chase for a lot of the first half of the season. Then he just fell off. So I mean, that's one of those things with the Chase where it gives you those storylines like that Texas race, post race where Keselowski's getting beat up by everybody. Those are the storylines that you get with the Chase because one bonehead move kills 3 drivers' chances at a championship. And then nobody's happy at that point.
Every race means a little more.
Yeah.
And we can say that and be like, oh, well, every race meant insurmountable with the playoff format because of the winning you're in. Like
Right.
for Ty Dillon, every race was life or death.
Yeah.
I think there's two. Again, another thing I'm in two minds about. You can't have any Game 7 moments if all the races are Game 7's number one.
Sure.
And number two, consistency is rewarded. And being consistent, having good days, it means so much more. Like a DNF can really shake up how you need to view this. I think it was Junior who was like, damn, if you have a DNF, you're 30 points behind this guy now. Now you need this guy to have a bad day just to leap him. And everybody's going to be watching those points every week.
Yep.
And it's going to be great to watch because on one hand, the season's not over. And on the other hand, you're doing the math on like, okay, how do we pass this guy? What does this need to happen? It's going to be really interesting to watch. As a guy who didn't really like when I was watching when I was a kid, I didn't know nothing about this playoff crap. Like I turn on the TV and I'm rooting for my guy, Jeff Gordon. And
that's it.
Whatever happens, happens. Like
that's
I didn't have any long-term vision.
Yeah.
It was just when I was a kid, I thought the Patriots went to the Super Bowl every year. Like that's just
it. Yeah. I mean, I think you kind of touched on it, right? If every race is Game 7, you lose those moments in a sense. But this gives you the chance for that whole series, like kind of the NBA has the finals, right? It gives you 10 races. Tony Stewart did it. He went into the chase, won 7 out of 10 races. Yeah, I mean, and won his championship. Those are moments that you
have. Like your mom to win a championship.
That's right. Exactly. Those are the lines you get. I mean, I don't think there's a personality like Smoke in the Cup Series that would say stuff like that, but I think you could see a performance like that out of somebody like a Christopher Bell, even, just to foresay something. That would be the guy that, I would go right offhand to Tyler Reddick if he's having a good year.
Joey Logano.
As much as I don't like him, yes. Chase Briscoe, look what he did in the playoffs.
Dude, yeah.
So, I mean,
getting hot.
Those are the guys that you could see take a run that you wouldn't in the win and you're in format. So I'm definitely excited to see how that's going to play out.
And my last big winner for the Chase, and then we'll move on. Crown Jewel races.
Yes.
Nobody's thinking about the playoffs at the Daytona 500 anymore. No. This thing is just winning the Daytona 500.
That's right.
That's it. You're going home a Daytona 500 winner. You're not going in, oh, you're the first guy locking in your playoffs. Like nobody gives a shit.
Nobody cares.
You win the Daytona 500. That's what people care about.
Yes.
So racing for those big monumental wins might mean a little more.
I think so.
It might just not feel like another race, another way to advance into the playoffs, another way to boost your score going into the playoffs, and hopefully you don't get eliminated. Like there's no threat of elimination. There's no guarantee of winning, of getting into the playoffs. You're just going in and you're winning the Daytona 500. You're going in and winning the Coke 600.
Yeah.
You don't have 500, Backyard 400.
Like, playoffs thrown out right after you win. Like immediately when they get out of the car, you saw the post races that got put on TV anyway. Well, how does it feel to be locked in the playoffs? Immediately, like you just won one of the crown jewel races of the sport, and they're asking you about the playoffs. Like obviously it's discouraging. So like you said, it's going to be good again. And it'll be interesting to see how the Daytona 500 is handled too, because does the risk versus reward go up now because it's just the Daytona 500? It's one race. There's going to be carnage anyway. Why not go for a crown jewel? Or does it kind of stay about the same because it's kind of similar, right? It is a crown jewel, but you could build on your points for the chase. This is the start of a season. That's how, the races are going to get managed.
My hope would be that for these races, like the Daytona 500, people are going balls to the wall.
Yes. Same.
And
that's a lot of times how it
I
was.
think the balls to the wall for every single race is going to go down.
Yeah.
And that can get exhausting.
Yes.
If they go balls to the wall for the Coke 600 and the Southern 500 and the Bristol Night Race, which I know isn't technically a crown jewel, but it should be because it's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm optimistic. I think crown jewels are a big winner from this, and I hope that I'm right.
The other big winner of this, though, is the fact that Charlotte is going back to the Oval for 2 races.
Yes.
No more Roval.
Roval dead. No more Roval.
I'm down with it. It overstayed its welcome, in my opinion.
I don't like you said, it overstayed its welcome. It was in the early days of it. It wasn't bad.
No.
Especially like in that car when it was running intermediate so poorly.
Yeah.
It needed to switch up, and you had a lot of iconic moments at the Roval.
Truex,
Jimmy and Truex taking each other out. You had Chase Elliott, winning it. I don't know if this is the same race or not. Where he won it in 2020, and then was it 2021? He chased down Harvick, and
21 he chased down Harvick, and 2020 he won it with the iconic "Are you not entertained?" standing up.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, I had him switched, but yeah, no, like they had iconic moments like that. And Dinger winning it in 2023, that was cool. Otherwise, especially lately, we've just been so burnt by these road courses just because Shane Van Gisbergen is kicking everybody's ass up and down. I'm not sure how anybody finds joy out of that unless you're an SVG guy, which I know a couple of them. They're exhausting. Yeah, but Roval dead, Oval back. The Oval is producing some of the best racing in NASCAR right now. Like it's up there with Kansas and Vegas and all those intermediates that we know and love. And the Coke 600 puts on every time. And either whether it's a 400 or a 500-mile race, it's going to be probably one of the better shouts of the chase. And there's no rounds of elimination anymore. There's nothing like that. So that could take away a little bit of the luster because those elimination races, I mean, I know that we talked about every Game 7, every race being a Game 7 is exhausting, but those elimination races put on some awesome TV. I mean, we were at one in Bristol. But no, I think going from the Roval to the Oval is a decision long overdue, a decision that everybody was clamoring for. I'm shocked that they did it.
A little bit. I think that you kind of touched on it. The fact that SVG just ran through the road courses and made it kind of just a boring type of event was just the opportunity to change it the easiest. Charlotte can easily go from the Roval to the Oval. Junior's even said it. He's like, it's not like the format's going away. They can go back to it anytime they want. I mean, it's not disappearing completely. So I think that plays into it a little bit. But also, they've not been getting great reviews from a lot of the fans recently on it either. Unless, like you said, you were one of those road course ringer type of guys. The ones who have dominated, the SVGs, the Allmendingers when he did.
Ty Gibbs seems to be where he runs up. Kyle Busch these days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's good. It's a good change, and it's going to make, I think, the chase a little better too. At the fact that you don't have to worry about the Roval being in the middle of it.
Yeah, now no road courses in the chase.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you had thought about that, but there's no.
I didn't think about that.
There's no road courses in the last 10 races, unless I'm mistaken, because they kicked the Glen out to Mother's Day weekend.
I was going to say, did that because they moved the Glen out, and then Sonoma.
That's it. No, it's just ovals in the chase, and damn it, that's how it should be.
Yes, I'm happy.
Listen, I'm okay with the Glen coming after the Southern 500. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
because upstate New York in the fall, there's something about that lighting. There's something about that allure. Yeah. We'll see how it is in early May. I'll be boots on the ground, hopefully, but it's gonna be freaking cold. But
yeah,
it'll be a good time. But yeah, no more Roval. Oval's back. No roadies in the chase. Should be a good time. All right, what's next on the agenda? we have, as I scroll all the way down to look at the playoff races. Oh, okay. We're just going right into superlatives. Before we get into that, I'll touch on it briefly. NASCAR is obviously up in their horsepower on certain select tracks. Is it mostly short tracks and road courses? Is that
Yes, that's right now anyway.
They're going from what, 650 to 750 or 750 to?
I think it's 650 to 750 is what they're doing this year.
Listen, it's definitely not enough. Kyle Larson said very what do you want to call it? Nihilistically. Yeah, you guys better not shut up about this horsepower because it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, definitely.
But every little bit
does help, and it's going to make things interesting because I feel like they've got that short track tire compound figured out. We saw it.
We saw that live.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to be interesting. Managing that horsepower difference on those softer tires is going to make things a little more interesting, and anything I've saw from tests have been positive. I think like the biggest takeaway still is like they're like, we could use a little more. Like we're happy with it, but we could use just a little more. So I think that would be the biggest thing. We'll see what happens. The fans, I think, benefit from it at least immediately, more so.
Yeah, I wonder how big of a change it'll be, like when we see it with our eyeballs.
Yeah.
But hard to
I don't
know.
know. I mean, again, I think it's more so going to come in the tire management aspect of it, especially on the rougher short tracks, the Darlington.
We're not really going to see it until Phoenix after Coda.
Right.
So, yeah, there's your horsepower talk. All right, superlatives. I never say that right. Superlatives?
Yeah, superlatives.
Superlatives?
Yes.
Ready for some gut-busting action in NASCAR? Okay. Yeah, so in this segment, we're just gonna we put out some things, some nice little predictions, some awards that we're gonna predict are gonna go to some folks, some awards that we're gonna give out right now, and we'll see how it all ends up at the end. Chris obviously had his 5 predictions for this NASCAR season.
Yep.
Up there on BellyOutSports.com. Go ahead and give that a look. I always intend to do like 5 bold predictions for NASCAR Kaleb's version, but I never get around to it.
It's one of those things where I went 0 for 3 last year, so I'm not too confident, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, your curse on Denny just went like into the championship and through the offseason. Like,
yeah, I should have been like, Denny's going to win the championship, and then he probably would have went winless.
Yeah. But yeah. So let's just get right down to it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 superlatives to give out. Predictions, superlatives, whatever you want to call it. The best offseason move. Chris, what's the best offseason move?
I went with 2311 in front row with the lawsuit and them getting their charters back and the changes that they were able to get. So, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest offseason moves we saw between the teams because they were racing as open teams. So I give it to them for getting their charters back.
My biggest offseason move. You're kind of getting this like live reaction from me. I like to do this. Like I like to go in with a clear head and just kind of say the first thing that comes to mind. I'm not a big fan of homework. You know what? I'll go with NASCAR going with the chase instead of the playoffs. The chase coming back. That was the best move.
I like it.
Honorable mention. Shout out to Daniel Suarez going over to Spire. We'll see what comes through with that. Trackhouse bringing in Zilich. That's going to be very interesting. I think that's it for like major stuff. Like nobody got any crazy new sponsors that are cool or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think we nailed it. We nailed them all on the head. The oval coming back versus the Roval. Yeah, those are probably your big ones. But I'll go with the chase coming back. Chase coming back is big. Okay. Most wins in 2026, Chris.
I went Chase Briscoe on this just to how he finished the year. I think he's going to have a good season. They're just going to continue to build off that momentum, and I think it's probably going to take 5 to 6 wins to claim that title. So that's a pretty hefty amount of wins for a guy in his second season with a team. But again, I liked what I saw at the end of the year from him.
So I have this exercise that I do in mid-January where I list all the races. I have it on my notepad, and I go through and I pick the winners for the whole year, and I see how it kind of ends up. So when I did this, Kyle Larson was mine with 5. I think Kyle Larson's just a guy who wins. Like, he just shows up and he wins a whole ton of races.
Yep.
SVG, he only got 1. That can't be right. He only wins 1 road course. San Diego. No, I miscounted, obviously, because I gave him 2. I gave him San Diego and the Glen. I think Stilic is going to steal 1 from Sonoma.
Yeah.
And I gave Buscher Coda.
That's a good pick.
Because he's a little underdog roadie. Like, that guy.
He really is.
He loves them road courses, and nobody likes to talk about. But Kyle Larson with 5 is my bet. Do you want to put a number next to Briscoe?
Yeah, I'm going to say 6. Let's just give him the 6.
So Larson gets 5, Briscoe gets 6.
Yes.
At the same time, 11 races going to 2 drivers.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time it's happened. So,
breakout driver. Who's going to break out in 2026, akin to Briscoe in 25? I don't know who you would call the breakout in 24, but 23, I'd give that to Buscher with 3.
Yeah.
3 wins there, 2 of them in a row. Yeah, who's the breakout driver for you?
This one is very dependent on equipment. I think, and I'm sorry to say this, but Carson Hocevar.
Why are you sorry to say it?
I know, but I'll tell you why. I've saw some rumors on like NASCAR Reddit, NASCAR Twitter that Gabehart has been in their shop.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if those pan out, that's some good experience to have in that shop for a young driver who showed speed, showed race-winning speed arguably at a couple races, and then his equipment wasn't there. So, it could go either way. I think if the cars don't hold up, it's another lackluster season. But I also think it could, he could have maybe a win 2, if he steals one at a super speedway.
Yeah, I hate to copy you, but I'm going through this list, and like to be a breakout, I think you gotta have multiple wins. But I don't have a lot of guys getting multiple wins who I'd consider breakouts. Like if William Byron wins two races, Elliott wins 3 races, that's ho-hum doing the job.
Yeah.
Blaney and Logano, they're Cup Series champions. Briscoe getting 2 wins. We saw him get 4 last year?
4.
Bell getting 2. He got more last year. Chastain, I got 1. SVG, I got 2. Zilich, I got 1. Keselowski, Buscher. I hate to copy you, but I think that's the only move you can make. Hocevar is the household name right now. Yeah. As much as Zilich has very high expectations, I think Hocevar getting a win or 2, you'd consider that a breakout for sure.
Yeah, he's going to lead some laps if the cars the cars under him. He showed that at the tracks that he had good, like Michigan and things like that. He had speed. Just the motor produced chocolate milk, and it's not supposed to do that, obviously. So that's going to be the big question there. Do they have the equipment to back up the performance?
Disappointment of the year. Who's going to be your major disappointment?
I didn't want to go this way because I hope he does better, but Connor Zilich.
Too high expectations?
Yes. I think, this is the Cup Series. Rookies don't normally have a ton of success in the Cup Series their first year, at least since we went to this car. Plus, the drivers are way, more experienced. I feel like they're going to be more aggressive, even like guys like SVG said when he came in. I was not expecting, the aggression that is in this series. So I just think it's going to take him a season. I could see him still in a road course, but I think other than that, he's probably going to be a little bit of a disappointment.
Would 2 wins for Denny Hamlin be a disappointment?
After last year, probably for his fans. I wouldn't say so.
Like, would the optics of that say that, oh, yeah, that's a really disappointing year for Denny?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of my pick. And I have him winning 2 races. But I could easily see him being mentally checked out and fried after the lawsuit, after losing the championship the way he did.
Yeah.
And obviously the tragedy with his father and his mother in their house, losing his father and his mom surviving, and she looks great. And I see the images on social media. She seems to be recovering really well. But would it shock you if Denny's just not there? Like he's just humming it. And
I kind of expected it last season. So I mean, I would expect it maybe a little more this season after like you said, the off season that he's had. I mean, and in that interview he did with Bob Pockris, you could just look at him. The dude looks exhausted.
He pretty much said, like, I don't want nothing to do with the race car right now.
Yeah, like he's just like, I don't want anything. He was like, I'm just not ready. He was like, I'll be ready though for the 500, and like he just looked exhausted. So I mean, I think that would be fair. I mean, his fans more so than anybody are going to be disappointed there. But I mean, Denny's been 2-3 wins pretty regularly.
Well, he won like 5 or 6 last year.
Yeah, he won 5-6 last year, like you said. So it was a good year. It was more than a good year. But if he does come out and have 1 or 2, yeah, it's probably a big disappointment.
So I'll go with Denny Hamlin. No,
I like it.
I don't like to say it.
Yeah.
And who would have thought me being like, damn, I hate that for Denny when I first got into this. Sometimes it's the way it goes.
That's right.
Terrorist of the Year. Obviously, if you're not familiar with our segments, every week we have a driver of the week and we have a terrorist of the week. And a terrorist usually belongs to the biggest monumental fuck up of the race. I forget who was like the king terrorist last year. Probably Austin Hill.
Yep.
For his very few stints in the Cup Series, because we don't talk about Xfinity and trucks often. I think we're both going to try to do a better job of like just having a sense of mind of where everything is. Obviously, I have something lined up for the summer that's going to keep us really in tune with trucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, Austin Hill was probably the biggest one. I imagine we put Austin Dillon in there somewhere.
Yeah, probably a few times.
Yeah, who's going to be the terrorist of the year? Like, who's going to be the biggest fuck up from year into from? Year
I probably went with the low hanging fruit here until someone proves different. I'm giving it back to Austin Hill. I think he's going to be back-to-back terrorist of the year. You can count on at least 3 bonehead moves a weekend, whether he's in the Cup Series or in the Xfinity Series. You're going to see some bad news headline from Austin Hill's race, I feel like, anymore. So until someone proves that they're a bigger fuck up than that, I'm going to give it to him.
Could there be one moment in NASCAR, in this NASCAR Cup Series season, that could make somebody a terrorist for the year? Like, how bad would the moment have to be? Because would Austin Dillon in 24 when he wrecked Logano and Denny for the win at Richmond, would that be terrorist of the year?
I think that would. Yeah.
Is that the criteria we're kind of looking for?
I think that would be right. Maybe like a guy in the chase at Talladega makes a obviously bonehead move, not like a super speedway drastic move.
Well, here, how about this? Based on my predictions, there's going to be a team that has probably 3 drivers in the chase. There's going to be 1 driver that's not in it. And we saw in a certain race last year, this guy racing his 2 teammates very hard in the middle of a race, a middle of a playoff race, start of a new round, and ended up getting shipped. And in that moment, he could have taken out his other teammate because all 3 of them are running together.
Right.
Say this thing happens and he ships one teammate into another teammate in the middle of the chase. Would that be considered terrorist of the year worthy?
Absolutely.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I have an idea of who you're talking about. You tell me, sir. This is your
tell
pick.
me. What's the guess?
I was going to say Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs. Yes.
Yeah.
I was in the stands when he did that, Loudon.
I could see it. That's a good pick. I
had the scanner on, and my grandpa had the scanner next to me because I got the 2, so he could listen to it. And we're sitting there because we're sitting like just before the start-finish line at Loudon coming out of turn 4.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to see in that corner. But we're watching, and I noticed that Denny and Ty have been going at it for a while, but I have my scanner on Bowman's. And all of a sudden, I see that wreck. And I'm like fidgeting to try to switch it to Denny. And all I hear him say is, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, are they scared to talk to him or whatever?" The soundbite was. But I think that Ty Gibbs could have a moment like that because he's proven to do it.
I can see it.
He's proven to do it even worse. Remember Martinsville in 2023, 2022?
Yeah.
When he wrecked his teammate for a spot when he didn't need it?
Yeah, when he didn't need it. That was the big thing. He didn't even need it. He wrecked Harrison Burton for that spot. So, I mean, I could see that. I mean, another candidate could be like a Daniel Suarez, depending on how he does with Spire, or even like a Michael McDowell. So 2 out of your 3 Spire cars, I feel like could be contenders for that. I could easily see that, actually. Ty Gibbs is...
That's a Terrorist of the Year moment.
Yes.
First time winner, if you have one.
I think... I'm going to go with Cup Series. I'm going to go with Noah Gragson.
Noah Gragson, a first-time winner.
Yep. And I'm going to call it now, Summer Daytona. Summer, fall, whatever you call it.
Summer, it's summer. Yeah. How about this? Ryan Preece.
Ooh, that's probably the easier pick.
He's been setting it up at a lot of those short tracks. He's been setting up a lot of the intermediates. He's been sneaky good at those intermediates lately. I don't have him winning on my big laundry list of names here.
Right.
But I'll throw a new name out there.
I like it. Makes sense. He had the performances, and if you would feel like they're going to build on that.
So I'll give it to Ryan Preece at Spring Martinsville.
Yeah, I like that.
Spring Martinsville. All right. Lastly, 2026 Final Four and champion. Now, there's no such thing as a Final Four.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're just going to pick the top 4 guys in points. Who's going to be there at the end, and who's going to win it all at Homestead? No matter where they finish, if they just have the points, they have the points. That's the game. So, give me your 4.
Elliott, Blaney, Reddick, and Bell.
Damn. Okay. Just rip it off. Elliott, Blaney, Bell, and who?
Reddick.
Okay, and who's going to win?
I think Bell wins his first championship.
Any specific thought behind that?
I think he's going to get hot mid to late season. He's going to use the momentum to go on a late run, maybe win 2 to 3 chase races, surprise some people.
Yeah, I mean, he's often been like one of the more consistent drivers in the circuit for sure.
Yeah, I think this benefits him, at least like in my mind. Like there's some big names that benefit more from this format, and I think Bell's definitely one of them.
As for mine, as I scroll through here, I'm going to go with Elliott, Larson, Logano, and Briscoe.
I like it.
And I hate to do that to my boy Christopher Bell, though.
I almost put Briscoe in. I think Briscoe's going to be a victim of one of those chase moments, and it's going to kill his season.
It could, but it could kill Bell's too.
That's true.
He did end pretty cold. I don't have the driver averages up in front of me, but how often was he competing for a win after the Bristol?
Not very much at all. He fell off. I mean, he was low in top 10, but no race.
I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Christopher Bell here in 2025. It's been a while since I pulled up driver averages.
Same.
He didn't fall off. P6, and then 1, 2, 3 straight P3s.
Dang.
P8, P7, P11.
Just couldn't crest.
He didn't lead any laps though.
Yeah.
From the Roval to Phoenix, he didn't lead a single lap. He led 43 at Fall, Kansas. But I don't know. Just felt like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen William Byron back his ass in the P3, and they're like, how the fuck did he get there?
Yeah, no kidding.
But I don't know if he wins enough, really. I think that's my big concern. Elliott, he's uber, like he is Chris Rebel on crack at consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency wins. Logano wins.
Yep.
Briscoe wins. So we're kind of, me and you kind of have a win versus consistency kind of list.
Yeah.
And then we both have Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
And my winner? God. I hate to do it. Joey Logano.
God. That's a way to shut up your critics, I guess, though. Real quick.
Wouldn't that just be so Logano coded?
Yeah, that's a
shut up. I just win whatever.
Yeah, it's mine. I win it. Shut up. Yeah, that would be very Logano-esque.
And just a stupid smile on his face.
God.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it. I could absolutely see it coming down to Chase Elliott versus Joey Logano at Homestead.
Logano would wreck him in a heartbeat, and Chase would just take that shit. So,
yeah, hate that from my Napa 9.
Yeah,
Hendrick Motorsports heavy.
Hate that for my team, right? We were competing for a championship and got taken out.
But we'll be back next year.
That's right.
That stupid mustache on his face. Chris is coming on the pod the next day. Fuck this. I'm fucking done.
Oh, God. I hope not. God, I hope not.
But, all right. Not bad. We'll see how that ends up. All right. I need to get my timestamp. 47:12. Talk about the Clash. Obviously, they moved it to Sunday. So, folks at home, don't waste your time getting up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed on Saturday.
Nope.
Turn on FS2. Don't need to.
Nope.
It's not going to be on. Obviously, there's weather impacting the area now. They're expecting to get like 4 to 5 inches of snow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pretty rough one out there. So it's going to be Sunday at 2. They have the practice and qualifying on FS2 at 2 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, you have your Fox last chance qualifying. The top 20 in qualifying are going to make it. Then everybody else goes to that last chance qualifying race. And then you have 200 laps for the Clash at 8 o'clock on Fox. Looks like Big Fox, too. So we're getting a special treatment.
Nice.
5 to 9 inches between now and Saturday night. Monday, mid-30s, 20s at night. Typical NASCAR racing weather. As far as expectations, I mean, last year was a lot of fun, I thought.
Yeah. I think it's going to be another entertaining. I mean, that circuit or that small compact track, whatever you want to call it, right? It's going to be a really good product for the opening race. Aggression, we saw that with the bumpers and everybody using them. It's going to be bumper cars, but I think it'll be maybe a step up. Strategy will be kind of good. There might be actually wrecks. No more just bumper cars.
We do not have any groupings for the Clash.
Okay.
But we do have some parlays that they can let us pick from. We can just pick our favorite.
Okay. What do you got?
We got a lot of them here, so I'll just try to rip through them. Hendrick Ladder. Back to these Hendrick cars. This is the Daytona 500.
Yeah, these
are later.
Yeah, we'll do those.
All these bets the Daytona 500? Yes, all these bets are the Daytona 500.
Yep.
Never mind. It's plus 1,000 for Byron to win 3 straight.
God.
But at the Clash, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott are your favorites, plus 550 each. Denny Hamlin, plus 600. Larson, plus 800. Bell, plus 850. Byron, 1,000. Briscoe, 1,100. Joey Logano, 1,200. Chastain, 2,000. Reddick, 2,200. Busher, 2,500. Ty Gibbs, 2,800. Kyle Busch, 2,800. Alex Bowman, plus 3,500.
Give me.
I kind of skipped around. Bowman got fucking gypped again.
Yeah, those are pretty bad. I'm gonna actually take someone that's pretty high odds here, so you could get a pretty good winnings. I'm going to take Ross Chastain for the fact that he's one of your better defensive drivers.
Plus 2,000.
I think he's going to get the lead on some sort of strategy call, and then it's going to be, unless you just ship him into the wall, it's going to be hard to get past him.
And he'll ship you into the wall.
Yeah, they might. They might.
Yeah. Fuck it, give me Seabell. Plus 850.
Still winning.
Yep. Bell, Ross. Obviously, we have a new pick system from last year. Yep. Going into this year, we're going to have our eliminator, what do they call it? Seasonal kind of go. So whoever we pick at Daytona, we're not allowed to pick for the rest of the season. And it just kind of adds on and on until there's nobody left.
Yep.
It's 40 charters in a race. So give or take, we shouldn't run out of drivers. So we got to be strategic about how we use them.
Definitely.
So maybe you pick a wild card at Daytona, Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera. You save Larson for Vegas. You save Seabell for New Hampshire. You know what I mean? Yeah,
definitely going to have to put some more thought into it. You just can't pick a couple drivers or the main.
Which you did last year, but had my arm twisted.
Yeah, it happens. It's one of those
things.
Happens. I think it won't happen this year, but it's going to be interesting for us. But I also think we're going to try to touch on. Hopefully, we'll be recording a little later in the week, so we'll have more parlays and stuff to touch on too with the betting.
But we're recording on Friday now. So.
Yeah, that's right. So we got everything right now, and then Chris will actually be in a legal betting state soon too, so he can get into it a little more.
Ooh, yeah.
So we'll have extended that, and then hopefully, like Kaleb said earlier, we're gonna have some good guests come on the show. This week.
If we have guests, we'll have a guest sheet of like who guests have picked, who guests haven't picked.
Yeah.
If they don't come on until the frickin' Watkins Glen, they can just pick whoever. Like I'm not gonna be a stickler about it. If they want to pick SVG, freaking go for it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It'll be fun, but the guest has to pick. I can't pick something a guest has already picking. Picking.
Yeah.
That's a Bushism right there. Don't misunderestimate me, and don't misunderestimate this podcast. Damn it. All right. So we got it in under an hour. I don't think I missed anything.
Nah, you're good. I was just looking.
Look at that. Not rusty at all. Not rusty at all.
Right on.
All right. So we don't have our picks for the Clash. We're not going to do an article for that.
Yeah.
We'll save it for Daytona.
Yep.
Otherwise, Chris, anything to say to the fine people at home?
We'll see you next time. Other than that, no, I don't have anything coming this week. Maybe I might try to get out a pre-Daytona 500 power rankings, but that depends on, my kids and how much they let me do that this weekend. But next week, we'll see what happens.
For sure. I won't have anything besides this. Yeah, that'll do it. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. His Twitter is down there. My Twitter is down here. Follow us at Short Pit Pod on Twitter. Be more active on that for sure.
Yep.
All sorts of fun coming. So thank you all for sticking around with us for this hour. Hope you stick around for the rest of the year. And we'll see you next time.